Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring my review of Orange is the New Black Season 2. I reviewed the first season a while ago. I just finished watching Season 2 a night or two ago. And this one's going to be a little bit brief because I have to get off for work soon. But I still wanted to get my thoughts out there. So overall, I really like this season. I was debating about midway through if it was going to be able to match the first for me. And I think overall it did, if not exceeded it just a bit. I really liked the first season, and one thing the first season probably still has over the second, though, is just Alex Voss being more involved. With this one, she's not really in the prison anymore. We don't see her quite as much, and I always felt like Piper and Alex's story is like the main, like, a serious, interesting thing. So with her not being on quite as much until towards the end of the season, it's like the one thing season 1 might still have over it. But there's other fun story dynamics going on too, and we do get some really good Alex moments towards the end of this season. And overall, I just think that maybe I'm just more used to the show now, but season 2 just made me laugh more consistently. The show's getting funnier to me, and I think that's a good thing. Of course, it still comes off like a dramedy, sort of like your Shamelesses, things like that. And I think it's finding an even nicer balance now. Of course, a big part of the start of this season was Clark. I don't know why I'm saying Clark, but Piper. Being, of course, sent, for the case. She is temporarily out in another correctional facility, and that was a little bit different. It's like a bigger place, so it was a little bit intense for her. So I liked all that, and then she managed to see Alex at the same place, and this turns into be the case with the guy Alex is involved with, of course, with the drug trade and things like that. And Alex first wants Piper to lie for her, but Alex ends up telling the truth after all, and so this kind of screws Piper over. Alex walks, but Piper is still, of course, imprisoned. But of course, Piper, she is eventually sent back to Litchfield, and it's at its best when the whole group's together. I think instead of like Piper being states away. I think. Well, he also had a decent story with Taystee this season, with of course V Parker, showing up. That's a very important figure from her past. I think the actress did a good job playing V. At first, V seems like a good person, for Taystee to run into again. She sort of comes off like a grandmother figure at first, but then as the season goes along, you can see how much she actually does manipulate people to, forward her own gain. There are moments where you can't deny that V seems to actually care for Taystee at least a little bit more than, her other puppets. But this season for Taystee is really about her sort of stepping out of V's shadow and sort of acting on her own, which I liked. And Tucky, Tucky was actually pretty interesting this season too, after just getting clobbered by Piper at the end of season 1. She actually has some good stuff with Mr. Healy this season when they tried to form the whole safe place thing. And I thought that was pretty fun. They sort of like find a common ground with each other, with their psychological issues and things like that. So I like that quite a bit. I hear Tucky gets developed quite a bit. I'm beginning to see it now. Boo was a lot of fun this season too. She betrays Red and the others, when Red sort of disrespects her at this dinner. Red's no longer in charge of the kitchen, so she starts running her business from the garden that she has set up. And of course, Red probably sees like Nicky as like a daughter to her, but she just calls Boo a pain in her ass, so that causes Boo to sort of betray Red to V temporarily. But Boo, of course, helps her out towards the end of the season, and her and Nicky also have like a fun little competition going midway through, just seeing who can basically have sex with the most women in the facility. So that was fun as well. Then he had So-So's hunger strike and things like that. And of course, you still have Diaz and Bennett dealing with pregnancy and the way they set porn stash up and stuff. That part was entertaining as well. Porn Stash's return was pretty intense, and you can see that Diaz is starting to have some conflicting feelings towards him, with it, which is interesting because he's a little bit more honest, a little bit more outgoing, or at least more. he'll just say how he feels a little bit more often. That's something that Diaz wanted, I guess. That part of the story is alright. Then he also had Suzanne being manipulated by V, and she almost takes the fall for V, but luckily Red is able to put it out there when things get a little bit too physical between the two. There's just a lot to talk about in a season of Orange is the New Black, but something else I did want to touch on specifically was also Nicky and Morello. Morello, of course, she keeps on talking about her fiance, the guy she's going to marry. She eventually escapes when she's driving the van, and she goes to see, the house, and turns out that the guy ended up going, I think it was with her sister or mom or something, I forget which one. But this really breaks her down, and she gets a lot of crap from the other inmates about, this whole facade she created and such, that they had this, perfect relationship. But Nichols and her have a really good bond and friendship, and I really liked how Nicky helped her out the scene, where she basically, consoles her, comforts her, and, just says that there's someone who loves you, it's me, and just really good acting in that scene from the actress playing Nicky, I thought. And, of course, he also had Larry. He ends up having a thing with, of course, Piper's best friend, Polly, and that stuff was okay, I guess. I don't really care about Larry's kind of turned into a bit of of course the dog's here, he turned into a bit of a two-faced type of character, and I thought him and Polly actually made sense together. They seemed to mesh a little bit more than him and Piper, so I'm glad it sort of went that way, so that way Piper can still end up with Alex. I think that's the way to go. The Larry stuff was alright this season though, I guess. And it was good that Piper actually ended up helping out Alex at the end. She finally sort of came around to wanting to talk to her again. And no matter what Piper's feeling towards Alex at the time, she does admit, that she can never hate her. And so I liked all that. And when it seems like someone's being sent after Alex on the outside, for actually telling the truth in the hearing, Piper, manages to get Alex, I think sent back to Litchfield to start season 3. To keep her safe at least. So we're gonna have Alex back for the group, so that'll be fun. And there's a lot of other stuff with the whole non-hunger strike type of thing as well. There's plenty of other stuff to bring up, but I don't really have all that much time right now. But just want to talk about this real quick. Do love Orange is the New Black. I'm really sold on the show now. I'm going to be starting season 3 very soon. And let me know what you guys thought about the second season. If there's anything, other story points or character moments you want to bring up, I would love to talk more about it. I'd rate this season probably a B+, A-. I really liked it. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.